So another book I want to ask you about, I want to read an excerpt first, but it's Daniel J. Levitin's This Is Your Brain on Music from 2007. And this one looks absolutely fascinating. And here's a quick excerpt from the book. And Levitin writes, by better understanding what music is and where it comes from, we may be able to better understand our motives, fears, desires, memories, and even communication in the broadest sense. Is music listening more along the lines of eating when you're hungry and thus satisfying an urge? Or is it more like seeing a beautiful sunset or getting a back rub, which triggers sensory pleasure systems in the brain? Why do people seem to get stuck in their musical tastes as they grow older and cease experimenting with new music? This is the story of how brains and music co-evolved. What music can teach us about the brain, what the brain can teach us about music, and what both can teach us about ourselves. Okay, so there's a part in there that I want to ask you about. Why do we, and I find myself doing this now at 51, why do we cease to experiment new music as we get older? Why do we seem to get stuck in our tastes? Because they say between the ages of like, what is it, your teen years, like 13 and 19, around there, whatever you listen to at that time, that's like your strike zone for the rest of your life. You're going to go back to that.
Yeah, it's really about free time.
It's very
Yeah,
simple.
I have some friends who made it up until their 30s, where they were still their life revolved around discovering new music, and
Yeah.
if your life revolves around that, you will discover new music, and it's unfortunate. It becomes this. Music is a refuge, and the problem with new music, when you have limited time, is that if something isn't good, uh, you, you immediately want to gravitate to something that is, and so you stay with the what's comfortable. I try to force myself, like for when I go running or when I'm just sort of just randomly listening to music with friends. I try to force myself to throw new things on playlists, but even that, like, that takes time to do. And I've got a playlist. I just went for a run a couple hours ago, and like, I'm now realizing that most of the songs of that playlist I'm kind of bored with, and so I need something else. It's free time. That I
Yeah,
think
and radio too. Back in the day, I had local rock radio stations that I would count on to bring me something. What do you got? I discovered Blues Traveler from the local rock station here. Like, who are these guys? They were playing But Anyway, before Runaround became a hit. And that's
so.
that's gone.
I remember. I don't know why this is coming to mind, but I'll share it anyway. When Synchronicity came out, the Police
Oh,
album, I
first album
remember.
I ever bought with my paper route
Was
money.
it? Yeah, it's
Yes, a
such a great album.
Caldors. Caldors, I got it at.
Outdoors. Oh my
Yes.
goodness. There was a group of friends who were like, everybody thinks Synchronicity 2 is a great song, but we're into Synchronicity 1.
Yeah.
There is this like thing, like there was social currency about being the person to discover Synchronicity 2 when the radio stations were playing Synchronicity 1, or vice versa,
Right.
or they're all playing Every Breath You Take or whatever. And like that's the other thing is, like, I don't know about you, when I get together with friends, non-music friends, yeah, civilians, that there isn't a lot of talk about like what the latest band is. You might get a little bit of like, we like going to Bottle Rock, or one of the there's a couple of festivals that my wife and I really enjoy and have gone to for years. But that isn't part of the social currency for many people once you hit, heck, even 25. Some hit that wall at 30 or 35. Most people by then, that's just a lesser thing. And then it's about nostalgia. It's about seeing that band that you saw when you met your wife. It's about seeing that band that you saw when this one thing happened to you when you were 17.